You see the titles above and of course below, depending on how you view this. But yeah, the question is, what is MOD? Basically, what is movie on demand? Well, movie on demand could be interpreted in many ways. One, it could be looked at as MOD through your cable company or your satellite company. Basically, it's a movie on demand that you could watch here and now. Sometimes it can also be interpreted by what you watch through things like Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, Vimeo, Vika, all those kind of different streaming services, Ruka, you name it. Even YouTube. But did you know, for anybody that may not know this, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you do, but for some of you that don't, did you know MOD, Movie on Demand, also talks about things when it comes to, I don't know, DVDs and Blu-rays? It's true. Movie on demand actually is very popular, or is a very popular area for Blu-ray and DVD. It is. And especially for a lot of companies, major studios, video distributors. One of the biggest video distributors that really got this noticeable, hold on for a sec. Sorry about that, I had to get my dog from chewing some cat turds. Yeah, I don't know why dogs do that. But anyway, like I said, MOD, movie on demand, is also basically relatable to DVD and Blu-ray. The reason it is because sometimes there are certain things that you can't get on just streaming or through streaming sites like Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime and Vitka and all them. It's not. And there's no way you can get them through places like Comcast, AT&T, Uverse, DirecTV, Dish Network, Cablevision. You can't get it through them either. So the next best option, and a lot of studios like say Warner Brothers and Disney and MGM and a few others like Universal, the one thing they've all taken notice about is the fact that people like to have access to movies even if they're not retail wise. Take a look at Disney, for example. Disney basically through the movie clubs for quite some time had a lot of movies and television shows, animated and live action, that you could only get through on demand, through the movie club. Tailspin, Gargoyles, Season 2, Volume 2. Goof Troop, Volume 1 and 2. You could only get those through Disney Movie Club. But since there's a huge popularity, since those videos and stuff are hugely popular, and due to the fact that there's been a demand for them for a long time to be on retail DVD, in other words, sold at places like, say, where I work, Walmart, or Target or Kmart, Disney heard, answered the call and said, okay, here you go. But there are also other things, though, that Disney, Warner Brothers, Universal, MGM, and all the other home video distributors have realized. That even though there is a market for some of those shows and movies to go from on-demand or club exclusives to being regular retail releases, the one thing they've realized is sometimes some of them still don't have that big of a fan base, or they don't have that big of a following. So they realize that the best option is on demand. It is. Sometimes the best option is on demand. When I look at Warner Brothers, I wonder, when I look at Warner Brothers and knowing that they own certain libraries like Ruby Spears and Hanna-Barbera, knowing that they own these libraries now, you hope and pray that they're going to eventually release a lot of the animated shows and movies released by those studios, right? Well, some they have done as regular retail, but as the years went on, and even to this day, a lot of those series are still being released only through movie on demand. Why? Because basically there's not much of a demand for them as regular retail releases. I mean, as much as I would love to go into my store one of these days and see something like Challenge of the GoBots, Volume 1 and the on-demand version, Volume 2, for sale, and as much as I would like to see Silverhawks Volume 2, which is an on-demand title, alongside Silverhawks Volume 1, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen unless you get a big enough fan base or big enough demand thrown at them. A lot of people say that petitions work. And obviously something happened to get Disney to realize, hey, let's get these other shows, these other volumes, and these other shows on retail DVD. But again, what exactly does MOD, movie on demand, mean sometimes? Well, like I've been saying, it's basically for the fact that you can only get certain titles and stuff through them. Take, for example, the two I have in my hands. I Yabba Dabba Doo and Holly Rockabye Baby. These were two made-for-television animated films that Warner Brothers had released on ABC in 1993, or was it 1993 or 1992? 1993 and 1994. They released them during that time, I think. Trying to see here. Well, it doesn't really say, but I know it was between the years of 1994 and 1993, maybe 92, but mostly 93 and 94. And I was fortunate enough to be here for both, living in California, to see both releases with my family. Now, the thing is though, did these guys get a VHS release? Retail-wise, I Yabba Dabba Doo did get a VHS release, and I do believe Holly Rockabye Baby came out second as retail VHS releases, thanks to Hanna-Barbera and their connection with Cartoon Network. That's right, Cartoon Network, through their association with Hanna-Barbera, and in a sense at the time also Warner Brothers, but mostly Hanna-Barbera, and through the Turner Home Video distribution, released both I Yabba Dabba Doo and Holly Rockabye Baby as retail VHS releases. But as soon as Warner Brothers got a hold of them, did they re-release the VHSs? I think they did, but not really. But Warner Brothers saw that they had the movies, and they probably knew that with DVD being very popular, and people wanting to see certain things on DVD, that they were going to want to see these. So that's when you got them realizing, just like Disney and Universal and MGM and all of those other studios and home video distributors, they realized that, okay, there are certain movies and shows that we could put out as retail releases to be sold everywhere, but there are also other ones that may not have that much of a demand. So we'll just manufacture them right off the spot and sell it to the people that want them. And these are not the only movies to get that kind of a treatment, or even the shows. Like I said, Silverhawks Volume 2, Challenge of the GoBots Volume 2, those are both on-demand titles. Rover Dangerfield, which you would think would have a retail release, is an on-demand title. You take a look at something like, let's say, Yogi's Gang. The complete series is an on-demand title instead of being a retail release. Speed Buggy, the same way. There are certain shows that are on demand, certain movies and shows that are on demand only. A lot of the Hanna-Barbera classic shows from the 70s, 60s, and even the 80s are all on demand, and even the early 90s. They're all on demand. And even though that's frustrating for a lot of people, sometimes you look at it, it is kind of worth having it that way. Because, as many people would say, like Sarah Nizarak, there may not be much of a demand for them just yet, but at least you know that they are there to be purchased, and that they will be uh, delivered in the day when it's ordered will be made directly for you and be sent to you. In other words, you'll get a copy made by them and sent to you. Which is why if you order them off Amazon, why shipping takes so long. Let's say today you were to order Silverhawks Volume 2, which is an DV-R on-demand title. That's what they use. They use DV-R disc. But let's say you were to order that. You would think, okay, shipping, let's say you do 3 to 5 day shipping or delivery, right? You would think, okay, shipping's going to be the next day or so, right? No. They won't ship until they have all the discs manufactured and ready to go. Same with these. When I ordered these, it took a few days for them to be sent along with some other orders because they were being manufactured on demand. And if you want proof, there you go. That's a DVD-R disc or plus R disc. And it even says on the side, if I can hold it carefully, WarnerArchive.com. So that's basically how you get it. A lot of the shows, not just through Warner Brothers, but through Disney and Universal and all them, a lot of the shows and movies are part of their archive sections that you can only get on demand. Now, is it stupid that is it kind of stupid that studios do this? Studios and the video distributors are doing this? Of course it's stupid. It's like, you should know you're going to sell these no matter what, because there is a demand in some sense, and people at a Walmart or a Target or wherever, they will see these and go like, oh, I remember that, let me check it out, I want to buy it. And if they see it for a price of, like, say, $9.96, they're going to get it. Probably only $10, but guess what? At least you get $10, maybe $20 if they get 2 of them. You take a look at Yogi's Gang, and it could be sold for like $19.96 at Walmart or Target. They'd be getting $20 out of that because they know people would actually check it out and people would want to buy it for the collection. So again, in a sense, even though some of us may not like the MOD, the movie on demand process that a lot of these studios and the video distributors have, we got to look at the positive and the negative. The positive is at least we know they are available on DVD and they are available to be purchased. The negative is the negative is when we order them, we have to wait a few days while they get manufactured on demand and then mailed out. That's the negative. They're not, ready to go. They're not like, okay. Honestly, this is what a lot of these home video distributors, the studios should do. They should manufacture on demand a lot of the MOD movies or shows, have them stored away, and set and ready to go automatically to where they can be shipped out the day they're ordered. Not have people wait for when they come out later on. Because if you make them wait until they come out later on, people are going to get impatient. But again, that's the negative. The positive is at least you know they're available on DVD or Blu-ray to be purchased. The negative is you gotta wait a day or so till they're manufactured, put onto the disc, and then sent out. So let's say even if you would think it should be shipped out the next day or the day out, 2 days after, you may have to wait 3 days or 2 to 3 days after you've ordered it just for it to be sent out because they're doing the manufacture on demand. How do I know this? Last week, I ordered from Amazon Once Upon a Forest. I did Once Upon a Forest, Cats Don't Dance, and the other one being Rover Dangerfield. And if you would think, okay, Cats Don't Dance and Once Upon a Forest, they're retail releases. They should be ready to go. Yeah, they would be, except the fact that I also ordered Rover Dangerfield. And as I mentioned earlier, that is an on-demand title. So it has to wait. So that order has to wait to be shipped until that title is sent out or is manufactured and it's ready to go for the rest of the the rest of the orders. So again, the negative is the waiting. The positive is at least we know they're out there. We know they're available for DVD purchase. Again, the negative, you gotta wait. And yeah, it's stupid, but you know what? If it's stupid and everything, but if it means you'll have an official, a somewhat, if not official release, DVD or Blu-ray release of the movie or show you want to see or been wanting to have on Blu-ray or DVD, then hey, the wait is indeed worth it. Again, though, I honestly believe they should produce at least 10, maybe 15 of titles like this and have them on standby just in case they do get ordered, so that way they reset to the people when they order them, and the people that order them won't have to wait. But again, that's basically what movie on demands are when it comes to DVD and Blu-rays. They don't just limit themselves, they're not just limited to Netflix, Hulu, Vika, Vimeo, YouTube, Comcast, AT&T, Uverse, Cablevision, DirecTV, and Dish Network. They're not just limited to those. They're also they're one of the main incomes, if you will, for DVD and Blu-ray when it comes to studios like Warner Brothers, Disney, Universal, and MGM. So that's basically, for anybody that's wondering, what movie on demand is, MOD is, when it comes to DVD and Blu-ray. So until next time, folks, let me know what you think down below, and I am out.